Greetings and welcome to episode 26 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Great Britain campaign. And this, my friends, how we left it last time, where we are once again at war with Poland. And they were the aggressors this time, my friends. They moved against us once again. We had that peace and we had that stability with them for a number of years. But that has benefited us in the long run, because it has allowed us to really sort of solidify our hold upon the borders here. So many of the councils said, if you get the chance, Mala, sort of have your armies push up to the border, that allows you to then, sort of upgrade and to build behind the front lines, giving yourself that additional sort of space. So we're basically using space to buy time here, but it has actually turned out well in our favour, because we've been able to consolidate our forces into very condensed areas. So when the Poles attack those particular armies, we're able to then, as it were, outnumber. Locally at least we're able to outnumber the Poles. Now, of course, if we try to expand out, and our power dissipates as we sort of go. Remember, if you drop a stone into sort of water, you have that ripple from the initial impact. The ripple weakens as it moves outwards. Now, so of course, if we were to move away from our front lines, from our supply lines, the further we move away and the armies sort of begin to sort of move and separate away from each other, the lesser that initial power is. But at the moment, we've got ourselves condensed here, compacted into a very, very tight space, allowing us to really outnumber the Poles locally here. But as you can see, the Poles are attacking here with a mixed force, Eastern European mercenaries. I've got garrison guards, and indeed they have a plethora here of artillery. As you can see, they've also got some dragoons. They've got two regiments of cavalry. They've got a mixture here, very, very combat experienced line regiments here. They've got three cavalry, I beg your pardon. A lot of cannon, 5 cannon regiments available to themselves here. Guerrilla mercenaries as well, but they're not really packing as much power. That power has sort of moved away here from the Poles, because of course they are, remember, in a brutal war with France. And we mustn't become complacent, because complacency will be our undoing. But as you can see here, look at what we have thrown into the battle here, my friends. We have moved against the Poles with an absolute beaut of an army. This really is the apogee here of British fighting power. It really is. Marines, late Marines, standard Marines. We've got Royal Cuirassier Guards. We're looking at Lancers. We're even looking at some line infantry here, which will gain a tremendous amount of experience. We're looking at line infantry guards. We've even brought in 2 32-pounders here, 2 32-pounder howitzers. We've got 2 howitzers, and we've also brought in a 24-pounder as well. So we are absolutely bristling here with firepower. And behind that is an army, as you can see, that has taken a considerable beating, because remember, it did force and push away this army here. As you can see, that has absolutely been shattered here by this army. Standing guard, as you can see, is still by the front lines here, still replenishing. We have to definitely get this army back up and running here as quickly as possibly can, because as you can see, look at the combat readiness of this army. It is a veteran army. It's seen many a battle here, of course, guarding the front line and guarding that front line against considerable Polish attacks in the past has really made this a veteran army here. And although this army does not have the veterancy of this one here, soon it will be, because we are looking at the Council's behest to possibly push and take Belgrade here in Serbia, to try and draw the Polish gaze away from these areas we control here in sort of Istanbul, Constantinople, and try to pull the Polish power away here, the gaze of the Poles here. We've also got an army, I believe, moving up here along sort of the Greek inland here, the Greek coast as it were, along sort of towards the sort of Balkans. So we really have got a lot against us, and also we've got a significant amount of forces. Actually, we can actually see ourselves here. Look at this. And as you can see, we've got an army here stationed to sort of cut off anything moving along here. We've also got Istanbul, or Constantinople, as many of you like to say, is absolutely bristling here with forces. We've also managed to put in a small sort of relief force here, or additional reinforcements outside as well. But as you can see, we've got a vast array of Polish forces lined up against us here on the border. We have ourselves a significant force. We might even move against Bulgaria here and try and take this Bulgaria, and then let these forces move in against us, these 3 armies, and move against Istanbul. We will then cut them off and rip them to pieces as they try and assault Istanbul. And then along the sort of the Greek line here, we could actually move into Bosnia here and attack and remove this Polish force. So we've got a lot to do here. We are as best we can here, trying to put forces into position to really, as you can see, Greece here is well defended, but we might have to move this army out and use these forces then to sort of garrison Athens. We've got a significant force here in Patras, which really is our weak spot here upon this flank, because of course we still can be invaded by the sea. We do have a significant British fleet here within the sort of the Mediterranean or the Black Sea as well, with sort of that very slim border between the two. But again, we can't let our gaze or indeed our fences down for a moment. But let's get into this fight, my friends. It really is going to be a huge fight here, right on the border here between Romalia and Serbia here. Hopefully, if we can remove this force, we can then gather our strength and maybe even move in with this army here, crush this force, move in and take Belgrade, move in and take Bosnia, and sort of start to establish a firm defensive line along here, using the mountains here, using this range here as a defence. We've still got a very strong defensive force here on the border. And I believe we can probably even might be able to use this fleet eventually. But let's focus on what's at hand here. Let's begin this first attack here, my friends. We haven't been able to attack the Poles ourselves. We haven't been able to fight the Poles because for a long time we've been on the defensive back foot. We really have. But hopefully, now that we have ourselves in a position where we can indeed see ourselves in sort of, we're trying to establish now some very strong forces here within the sort of the southern enclave we have here in the Mediterranean. We can eventually move and start to push against the Poles, even though they are currently sort of winning the fight against the French. That doesn't mean we can be complacent. Let's have a topography of this battle here, this battlefield. Very open, a slight slope here. Oh, look at this up here. Oh my goodness me. This is a huge deployment zone. Now look at the size of this. This would be perfect for the guns here and the armies. Absolutely perfect. We've got this village here. Now if we could possibly push the Poles to come towards us here, we could even use this to our advantage, using this sort of gap here between these hamlets, the village, to attack. That would be absolutely fantastic, it really would. Let's set up our guns upon this ridge here, and we'll also use we'll actually put our armies sort of moving from sort of east to west, as it were, in this direction here. Mind you, we've got these ridges here, so there might not be... Let's see if we can set these up here just quickly. We could actually use the village here at our disposal. Mind you, it would really hit our deployment pretty hard here. Mind you, they have an equally large deployment zone, so we're going to have to hit them pretty hard. So we might just sit on the flat here and just fight them where they are. I think that might be actually much beneficial to us. Let's push these into... Right, let's get our guns sorted here. It's going to be vital. I think we will actually set the guns quite far forward. Let's just move some of these forces out of the way so we can set ourselves up properly here. We do have some very, very fine forces here, some wonderful regiments here. Now, I mean, look at this. This is nothing short of magnificent. Well, I think we will actually... We'll put the artillery along the road here. Now, we've got canister shot here, but still, I think we might just... set these gentlemen by themselves here, and set these. We've got quick lime here. Excuse any noise in the background, my friends. Now, are they set? They are set fair here. Why these gentlemen are set back here, I have no idea. Let's just set this up again here. That's not acceptable. Wherever they are, we need to really strike them hard and fast here. Quicklime is set. We've got in round shot. Hopefully we're near enough to be able for a quicklime to actually have some effect here. Do excuse any noise in the background, my friends. You can probably guess whom that might be. Indeed, quicklime will reach quite close here. We are going to keep our... I think we will do is we have the Lancers and the 22nd Horse Guard on the right flank here. so that we can actually sort of move around here. We're looking to try to take their artillery if possible, but we do have a very powerful royal cuirassiers here. Really are the absolute creme de la creme here. Now, I think we're going to have our line infantry here in the centre. This might sound harsh, but in reality, we want these gentlemen to take the sort of, and they're going to probably take the brunt of the attack from the artillery, but we want our marines to really anchor the flanks here. I think we'll use the 22nd Foot Guards and Marines here. Look at that. I mean, look at that. That is nothing short of magnificent, sir. Oh my goodness me, like beef eaters. Absolutely fantastic. Maybe we can push them in a little bit closer. That's more like it. We'll have the 23rd on the right. Again, this is going to be a pretty brutal fight, but we do need to also have some forces that are going to attack the flanks. We've got the 22nd, I think we'll have the 24th. Again, on the right here. We are really pushing ourselves very far forward here. We do need to have a strike force. I think we'll have 3 regiments and 18th, 25th, 26th moving against here. Let's move them, put them here against the Poles. We've got the 14th and the 15th and indeed the 13th Horse Royal Cuirassiers. I think we'll put them here so they can just slide between this gap here and outflank. Oh, look at that. What a wonderful sight it really is. I think we'll have the 27th though on this particular flank here. I mean, look at these. Look at these late Marines here. Oh my goodness me. If that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, nothing will, my friends. Look at that. Now, I believe we've got enough here to hold this centre. But we do need to really strike them as hard as we possibly can. We do have reserves, and we will be using these gentlemen as well to strike at the flanks of them. We can just hope that we can probably push through this gap here, move through the village as it were. Mind you, this village is going to disrupt our deployment here. What we might actually do is set up deployment thus. Let's begin the battle. Oh, look at that. That's absolutely perfect. Oh my goodness me, that's overwhelming firepower. I mean, that is an absolute joy to see. Oh my goodness me, what a barrage, sir. Look at this. 3 regiments of the finest cavalry here moving. Look at that. That's steady now. Steady, lads. Here they come. Steady, lads. Steady now. Oh, that's an absolute joy to see. Oh my goodness me, what a shot, sir. Oh, this is just sheer magnificence, sir. They've broken. But my goodness me, we've made them pay. Oh my goodness me, what a wonder to see this is. The firepower here has been exemplary, sir. Cut them to ribbons, lads. Oh, this has been a wondrous display. Look at that. They're shattered. Ceasefire. Ceasefire. Excuse any noise in the background, my friends. You can probably guess who that might be. Looking for attention. Actually, let's take care of these gentlemen here. It's been nothing short of spectacular. Double time, gentlemen! Oh, what a joy. Don't stand there, lads, don't stand there. Oh. Gracias. What an absolute joy to see. What the blazes? Oh, completely and utterly overwhelmed. We have simply brushed aside. We've brushed them aside. As if they weren't even there, like they're paper mache, so... Oh, we're going to show them nothing here. Look at that. This elite army here under General Stefan. Stephen really has just proven his value here. Tenfold, sir. Look at that. Look at that. What a fight. We have just simply pushed aside this Polish army as if it wasn't even there. What the blaze are you up to? Get in there, gentlemen, if you would, please. Meandering here. Ah! Well, 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 sir. Let's just deal with these. Shall we? Looks like the mercenaries aren't going to be lasting very long here. Looks like they've run with their tail between their legs. Gentlemen, let's look lively here. Look lively. Oh, that is a wonder to see. Heroic victory. We didn't even bat an eyelid there. We didn't even break sweat. 279 men lost. and we destroyed nearly 1,000, nearly 2,000. That's all they've got left of that force. We lost 279 men. Oh my goodness me. The statistics are fantastic. Look at the cuirassier. They've absolutely barreled through them. Oh, what an absolute joy to see. Thank you, gentlemen. If you would, please. Thank you. Now that, my friends, was an absolute joy to see. We've got 22,000 here. We're immediately going to put this army into repair and replenishment. Worth every single penny. The same for this army here. It's going to cost us a few pounds. Yes, only 2,800. But still, it's going to put this in good stead here. Now, what have we got here? The council has, of course, requested we move mortars in here. So we're going to move this army out. As you can see, this army here, which doesn't have a general yet, so again this generalship is open to those who wish it. And we're going to move in a specific garrison force here, that the council has recommended we move a specific garrison force into Istanbul. We do have this force here as well. That's a pretty potent force, actually. Ready to strike the flanks here, or even if they move against us here, they might even try and move against Adrianople here. They do have... They might try and steamroll. They've got a huge amount here of guns here. So actually this army is pretty set ready to deal with this armies. We do have this army here as well, which we do need to, again... I think we're going to try and start another army here in Greece. But ideally we need to move this army out under General DJP. We are, as you can see, trying to recruit as fast as we possibly can here. We're also upgrading this port here into a steam dry dockyard, so we have some kind of facilities here. We're at war with Russia, but Russia hasn't done anything as yet. And of course, we are trying to take the Ottomans here and deal with the Ottomans. Well, of course, we're moving against Damascus because, remember, the Ottomans have been an absolute thorn in our side here, so we're going to try and take Damascus here. Then we're going to try and hand it over to one of our allies here, potentially the Swedes, who I believe are at war with Russia. No, they're not. So actually we could probably give it to Sweden. And that would actually give us an ally here in the Mediterranean. We've got France down here as well, but that would give us, because we're at war with Russia, there's not a chance we'd hold against Russian forces here. It's this with this single region here. We've got these armies here just off our shores. That's why we can't really move many of these forces out here. Right, and we are absolutely at our capacity now. This army here is sat ready here. We might even move and try and push this army back as well. Now, do we have... What's our trade like? Our trade is looking reasonable. We've got a good king here as well, which is always good to see. Of course, Sweden here. And we do have this here. We are in control, complete control here of Sweden, as you can see. Now, the council did say that we actually give this back to the Swedes. But at the moment, we are building towards moving against St. Petersburg here. That is one of our real pushes here. And as you can see, we do have a very sort of... These forces here of the Swedes are not to be sniffed at all. This army in particular is very powerful indeed. We're looking at Marines, Grenadiers, Grenadier Guards indeed. We're at peace with Courland, but ideally we'd like to try and take St. Petersburg. We've got these three armies which we have moved in from Britain, but we've got to wait for them to be fully replenished here, as you can see. But we could take Finland, and we could take Finland and give that to Sweden as well. And that would give us a springboard then against St. Petersburg. We are trying to move in here to see what's available here. Now, of course, we've got this fleet here, this flotilla. But then again, we also do have a very powerful fleet of our own. Look at that. And for some reason, we do have 3 flagships, which I idiotically did. But we're going to keep these first rates. We're not going to get rid of them. And actually, we might put some more first rates. 2 additional first rates in here as well, just to really boost this fleet. We are very strong allies here with Sweden. They have got some good forces here, Swedes. We have managed to pull them around from where they were. They weren't looking very good at it for a long time. We managed to pick them up and put them in a much better spot. Now, of course, we've got these Russian forces here hurting us quite a lot here and out here as well. Let's replenish that as well. Of course, we've got this army here moving in. But we're going to use these forces. We might even take Finland for ourselves here, and then give it to Sweden, and that will be a springboard for our ultimate goal for the short term of taking St. Petersburg. If we can take this out, this land here, this foothold within Russian territory here of Ingria, St. Petersburg here, what an absolute boon that would be for us. It would not only cut off the ability for the Russians to produce vast amounts of naval forces here, because they've got 2 naval hospitals here in Kronstadt and in Strya Ladoga, but it will also open up the Baltic Sea pretty much to our entire fleet here. We'd even take this naval hospital as well from them. They do have this Paumua naval hospital here in Estonia, but it would severely restrict their naval possibilities here. They have got Karelia, but if we could give this to Sweden and then use this as a springboard, which I think we're probably going to do, to be honest with you. Now this army here has taken a beating, but we are bringing it back into full strength. We have pacified the entirety of Sweden here. We will eventually give Sweden back to them, to Sweden proper, so we really have a very powerful ally behind us. Once we've taken St. Petersburg, that will become our main hub here. Now we are at peace, and we are gaining some trade here with the Mughals here. But Britain itself here, I mean, look at that fleet there. I mean, that is just exceptional. It really is. We are gathering our forces here in case the Poles do overrun France and we have to defend Britain. We are going to have to really step up our defences here. To that end, we might begin recruiting some additional forces here as well. So I think we might get another first rate here for Britain. And we can't really upgrade anything else. We have upgraded pretty much everything we can. Britain really is flying at full capacity here. We do have our research really running at full tilt as well. We've got everything researched here. All of these bar mass research, mass production, I beg your pardon, are being researched. Everything here apart from abolition of slavery and secular humanism are also about to be researched once we've got all these. Now this will give us improved coppering. Of course it's going to be more expensive because copper is expensive to produce, but it will give us better top speed, better movement, and it reduces the upkeep. The recruitment costs, we take a hit on the recruitment costs, but the upkeep costs will eventually sort of counteract that, as it were. We do really need a better army here within London, so I think what we will do is... Oh my goodness me. We might even go for some knock volley. I wonder if they're... Devastating close combat. We might go for some of these gentlemen here. And some additional line infantry as well. We need to bring these forces here in London up to full strength, just in case the Poles or anybody else decide to launch an attack against us. We have Scotland, which was at one point under the control of another nation. We've got Westphalia here. We do need to bring Sweden really back into the fold here in full strength. We need a strong Sweden to really counteract any Russian push here, and to also keep a hold here of Poland. But Poland really has pushed against... Look at the size of Poland. It is just ginormous. It controls great swathes here. I wonder, can we help out the French in any way? We're friendly with the French. They've got all the technology. They don't need anything from us at all. Their allies are Sweden, so... Are Sweden at war with Poland? I believe they are. Indeed, sir. So, if we can get strong Sweden up and running here, that might give us that additional firepower there. Let's end the turn, my friends. I've got a feeling we're going to be moving against Damascus here pretty quickly. We've got this army here, which is probably going to aid the defenders here. Yeah, oh my goodness me, that is a powerful force. And it's quite clearly going to be moved out. To land against us, but we are going to move against them and bring Syria and Damascus under siege. We need to remove this thorn in our side, which has become Syria. We might even give this to France. It might do us well to have actually France here, because that would give France additional strategic options here in the Middle East, especially if this starts to collapse here around them. Let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens here. France, what will France do? Can France fight back here against them? No, they can't. Where is Spain going exactly? Poland. Oh, there it is. They're obviously going to move against us here. They're going to combine. Ooh, well, well, well. Have we just shown us the Poles here that they tangle with over there, moving everything into the area here? Oh, it's going to be an absolute barnstormer of a fight. But they've given us breathing space, which is crucial here. Absolutely crucial. Russia. Russia's moving more forces into Finland. Possibly from St. Petersburg. Now, if we can take control of Finland and then give it to the Swedes, it will bring Sweden back up to pretty much a very powerful force here in the north, which is what we want, ideally. Oh, come on now, sir. How can we lose 1,458 men against 90? Now we've got to replenish and repair that now. But still, we've got Sweden now moving against somebody here. Louisiana, Local Empire. Nothing funny from you, Corlin. Nothing funny from you, sir. Ah.
With all speed, place of learning and culture.
So Cambridge has now got additional. It's got now 3 gentlemen. That's excellent to see. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's more like it, sir. Right, let's replenish here. Let's just get these gentlemen back up to full strength.
Your Majesty. Sir, troops, forward.
Right, we've got more than enough cavalry here. So let's move in. Gentlemen. Thank you. Right, that's a good composition.
Your Majesty. At the ready.
I think we'll just put these gentlemen as well here.
Forwards.
Let's make sure that our forces are at full strength. Let's not be... What have we got coming in here? 37,188. That's excellent. Get that repaired here. That's full at full steam. This is also at full steam here. We've got a force moving down here. They're hoping to try and take this out here, but still, we are going to cross and take Finland. I wonder if we...
What do you require?
If we take Finland, that will give Sweden quite the advantage here. Let's move back here. Now that is that's a substantial army here.
What do you require?
But this isn't. That's a heck of a navy we've got there. Almost done. So I have 2 more additional ships moving in here. Moria has got additional forces here
By the left. Yes.
and here. As you can see, we're starting to build up. We'll leave these gentlemen here behind to actually defend. We do need a general here.
Ready for orders.
Ready for orders, sir. I think... How many...
Sir.
What cavalry we got? We got 3 cavalry. I think we'll go for 1 sort of impact cavalry. So we'll go for lancers.
Yes, my lord.
We've got enough guns. We need now... We could have some sharpshooters, I think. That would come in very handy there indeed. And line infantry. Oh, look at that. Now these forces here are starting to gather very nicely here. We've got almost the mortars ready. So this garrison force is almost ready here. We do need a general in here. We've got 4 mortars. 3 mortars, I beg your pardon. 3 mortars will definitely do us well here.
Yes, sir.
We've got 3 cavalry, which are useful even when you're defending. That still can be useful. I think we will pack out the rest here. What if we have some blunderbuss? I think because if they get up on the walls, this blunderbuss here, these gentlemen really will pack quite a punch. We'll have 3 of these gentlemen here. Let's go for real close range, short range fighters here that are going to absolutely blast a hole upon them, sir. Now they're gathering all their strength around here, which has opened up the potential here for us to move in against them. Now, how long before these are ready? Oh, almost.
Make ready.
Now we could move against Bosnia here, but we don't. Unfortunately, we don't have any spies here in situ. So I think what we might do is actually just get a sloop of war, so we can scout out what's along the Balkan coastline here in Bosnia, and see what's in Bosnia. Now, have they just retaken Hanover here? Or is this sort of stabilised? This front line is now stabilised here, which is good to see.
Your Majesty.
We can't move this army out, because if we lose Istanbul, we lose one of the absolute crucial hubs here for us. Mind you, this Russian trade route coming out of Crimea really is a prime target for us, but we mustn't lose focus here.
Your orders. Siege
Oh,
them.
ho, ho, ho. Let's bring them under siege.
Siege.
We shall move them in, gentlemen. We shall take Ottomans out once and for all. Put an end to these fiends. We don't have access here, unfortunately, to the shipyards in Heraklion here. But still,
Awaiting orders.
can't move this army out just yet. We need to make sure it's at full capacity. But this army here could get overwhelmed if we're not careful, so we can actually pull them back.
Make ready. Forward.
We're going to move this army back because it could get overwhelmed by these forces here. Can move it back to here.
Anything more? The Lord.
Let's really pack up that defence here.
At the ready. Forward. Lord. Forward. Onwards.
Oh, that's an absolute joy to see, it really is. We will then switch these gentlemen out for that. Whew. Our naval power is exceptional here. Fantastic, so we can't really upgrade anything else. We really do have our economy working at full capacity. We do need to, we can find out, do we have any, where are our agents? We've only got one rake here, he's in Finland. We don't have anybody else. We've got this gentleman here in Huron territory, but still.
Missionary on a mission.
Ah, see, minus 2, so he's not really getting anywhere, is he? I mean, France is just the absolute dominant power here in North America. It just shouldn't even be anywhere near to collapse against the Poles, to be honest with you. Its financial situation should not allow it. Spain has become a real powerhouse here, taking all of Italy bar Venice here. And who are Spain at war with? Just in Genoa. You have it. We are trade partners of theirs, which is good to see. As soon as we get this army up and running, this army groups here running, we are going to actually move against. We are going to actually move against Finland and then give Finland to the Swedes, and then we're going to quickly move against St. Petersburg. And we've got this army here that will give Sweden a lot of problems here. We need to clear Russian territories as we go. We mustn't allow them to sort of really counteract. If we can clear them in the north here, it really will be a boon. But St. Petersburg has to be taken before we can give Stockholm back to the Swedes. But we don't know what's here. What is in Bosnia? We need to find out what's in Bosnia. I'm not prepared to sacrifice anything here. What we do need, though, is we do need to have port security, which we do have here as well. If we could even move against Ankara, but we can't just yet, unless we use this force here to attack Ankara. Almost got copper bottom there. Then we need good rifled cannons, which will give us... It was rifled cannons, which gives us what exactly? So that gives us sheet lead cartridges. Reloading time. Top gallants, which increases the speed, and then preserve foods, plus build 2 morale in battle, which is fantastic. Right, let's end the turn again, my friends. Let's see what happens here. I would not be surprised if Poland doesn't move against us here. We've got these armies here which can hold their own, but I wouldn't be surprised if Poland doesn't move in and try and sort of hit these areas here, try and draw us away from Istanbul. But we might even move this army up here to reinforce. To that end, we might actually move this force to Macedonia in preparation. Then these forces here can then be moved up to join them. Let's end the turn here. We might even be able to trap all of these Polish forces here and destroy them, and then move out ourselves and establish a much more forward front line. This is Spain. Gathering strength here. It's good to see. What will Poland do exactly? What will their... Whatever you're going to do, Poland, do it quickly. And get on with the fight, sir. That's more like it. Now they're starting to bring... Oh, ho, 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 ho. They're really starting... Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. They're going to try and... Yeah, there it is, there it is. As we suspected, now they're going to throw a gigantic amount of forces against us, and I'd rather that. Let them come on, let them fall back upon our bridgeheads here. They're going to try and trap us here. Those arms. Look at this. This is going to be a brutal fight. Can we hold against these? Because that is not against us at all. This really is going to be a brutal fight here. My goodness me, that is a brutish fight. We should have just dealt with these first and then moved on to Damascus. But that is too late. We've got nearly 7,000 against us here. They don't have any cannon at all, only these organ guns. So if we can do this correctly, we might stand a chance here. We do have plenty of cannon. Let's take this fight. The Battle for Syria. What a fight this will do. What a battle this will be, my friends. It will be a tremendous fight here. Can we hold here? I'm not sure we can, but we shall give it our finest. They shall know we've been here. We might have to abandon our attack upon the Ottomans, but let's see what we've got. There's the topography here. Now, we do have this wall here, but again, it's not really going to aid us in any great way here. Although it does go all the way around here, so it might offer us some crumb of comfort here. Let's have a look at the topography. We've got a village on the left flank here. It is a large... Oh, look at this up here. Now this is a nicely raised area here, which we might could fall back upon. That'll put the organ guns way out of reach here, and we could actually put our armies up here and deploy them across this here. Now let's just quickly check something here. Can we deploy them here? We can indeed, sir. So we don't have any sort of cliff, anything here that's going to help us, aid us, hinder us even. We've actually got something that's going to help us. So we can pull our forces right back here. It'll give us a chance, but then again, where do their reinforcements come into? That's a crucial question. We have a huge deployment zone. Now if we fall back here and we're suddenly hit by those reinforcements, we are going to be finding ourselves in a lot of trouble. To that end, I think we're going to fall back right here. Probably may even cut the road here, but I think we'll fall back here. And we'll have our cannon, these two cannon here, briefly sort of skirting the... up here, just to give them that slight elevation. We've put them into thus. And a limber. Thank you, gentlemen. The rest of our howitzers will be here. Let's really bring the firepower down upon them. So look at that. Now that's proper firepower. That's really what's going to set us in good stead here. Let's have our general here. Gentlemen, thank you. We've got to be wary here. Where are those reinforcements coming in from? We've got to hold a very compact, tight line here. Now, I think it's probably best if we have the guards here. 38th and 39th regiments in the vanguard of the defence here. Let's put them just past the fence here. Now we do have mobility on our side, but we also have more than that. We have cannon, we have firepower on our side. That could be the crucial decider here in this battle. Now that's two very powerful regiments here holding this. I think we'll also have the 40th Foot Guards here. We've got to keep this line nice and compact and bijou. I think we'll have the 102nd here on the left flank. Okay, trying to hold that tight line here. Trying to, if we can have reserves and reinforcements, we'll have the 79th Regiment here, and it, gentlemen, it can deploy here once the deployment ends. Can we at least keep some reserves here? Let's have the 93rd Regiment here on the left. Let's start angling it slightly here. That's a strong deployment. Now we've got to be careful here we don't get attacked. Now we've got the Cuirassiers 40th and 44th. We'll keep them here, and again we're going to keep them in reserve. We're not going to be doing anything silly with them, since we're going to be fighting mostly. Oh, gentlemen, please, now is not the time for silliness. Right, let's take them off this, and let's at least have some kind of. Let's have the 94th Regiment here. Now, we're going to pull 3 regiments into reserve. 92nd, which is going to go up here on the sort of the hill here. We're going to have the 101st here, holding sort of a central line, and then the 103rd on the left flank. We've actually got then the 35th and indeed the 39th Cuirassiers. We've actually got Royal Cuirassiers here as well, which is good to see. We'll hold them on this particular flank here. They're quite clearly not going to play easily here. We'll hold them here for the moment, but of course we can shift and adjust our forces as we see fit. Now nobody else has been left behind. They do have a larger deployment area in terms of length, but we do have that depth of ours. We want them to fall back upon, we want them to come towards us. Right, let's end the turn here, my friends, and see what happens here. And the reserves are coming over from over here, so let's immediately get ourselves. We did the best thing, I think, in keeping this cavalry regiments here. Now let's move our forces here to meet these forces coming in from over here. Look at that, That's an absolute joy. Well done, lads. Give them hell. Damn, they got in there before the square was set. Well done, sir. Move, gentlemen! Oh, what a shot, just in time. Oh, the sheer firepower here, sir. Get into the Janissaries. This flank is a little bit weak here. Let's just try and clear it. Let's get after those. Let's get after them, lads. Get after them. I should just pull them back. Oh, that's an absolute joy to see, it really is. Come on, don't give them a chance to get shattered. Don't give them a second's respite. More of them, look at them coming in here. Got to dispose. We have everything here. We cannot give them a second chance here. That was obliterating almost. Look at all these reinforcements coming off the line here. Oh, that's beautiful to see. That is beautiful to see. Let's keep the firepower on them. Let's keep the stability going here. They've gone. They've been shattered. My goodness me, they've got a huge amount of forces coming in off the line here. They've gone. Oh, good grief, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt in the morning. Keep on them, lads. Keep on them. Oh, that's more like it. That's more like it, sir. Come on, keep at them, lads, get them shattered. Nothing short of miraculous here. Oh yes, come on now, sir. Fix bayonets. Oh, this is an absolute look at that, sir. Gotta take this organ gun out here. Deal with it, sir. Look at that, we've absolutely obliterated these armies. My goodness me, the strength of these British armies is quite exemplary, sir. Yes, gone. No, we want it shattered. Thank you, gentlemen. Any more organ guns? Anything left here at all? Nothing, sir. Yes, decisive victory. We've absolutely smashed them to smithereens here. What a fight that was. Look at that, we lost 655 men. They lost nearly 5,000. Absolutely incredible battle. And that has set us up very nicely here to almost be ready here to take out Syria. What a fight that was. Ah, more Russian forces moving through here. Are they moving away from Finland? Interesting. Don't do anything silly. Don't do anything silly here, Russia, because I've got the forces to deal with that, sir. Come on now, Sweden. Let's be having you, sir. Ah, oh, looks like we might see a little bit of There's a bit of movement here by the Swedish Navy, but no. Looks like they decided to have a jaunt elsewhere. Look at how many forces the Poles have got here. This is quite ludicrous. That's fine, that's absolutely fine. We already know. Now let's get these vineyards up. Let's just show them that we're not afraid in the slightest here of what they have. Not in the slightest. Now look at this. Now this force is ready for the siege. So what the first thing we're going to do is slightly move this army back here. Move this army out. Move this army in. Look at that. That is a perfect siege army. And we have these forces then ready to meet the attack that comes for Constantinople. It's obvious that Istanbul, Constantinople is going to be the target. Look how many forces got built up here. And it's vital here, therefore, that we do have these reserve forces in position here. Now, is that ship ready? It is indeed.
Under sail. Any orders?
Whoa. Now that's a significant amount of force. Probably more than I actually realised.
Make ready.
It's going to probably take all of these forces combined here to deal with it.
Orders?
What we don't want is to be locked in here permanently with nothing to do. Now if we open up here, that's going to open up the border here quite significantly, but we do we have the forces to deal with this? These aren't massive amounts of Poles, but then again we don't want to get bogged down in any sort of city fighting, as it were, here. But the Poles just have significant. And if we can get peace with them, well, we can get ourselves together here. Let's see if they are, open to peace. Are indeed, sir. Indeed. Now that has bought us time. That has bought us time. That has bought us a significant amount of time here.
Forwards!
We're going to start building up more forces along here.
Sir. Your Majesty.
Ideally, we want to really move against
Set sail. Jump to it and look lively.
these forces here. Now, we've given ourselves a break here. Oh, they've taken Munich here. They really are. Did they have Munich anyway? I think they did, but it looks like it's stabilised here. Our main goal is to move against Russia, which we are going to do, believe me. Have they seen what's coming their way and they've moved away here?
Another mission.
It looks like they have. We're going to launch that attack there, my friends, without a shadow of a doubt. Now,
The swine rot in the sty.
let's get these gentlemen replenished and repaired. Aide de camp. We're going to make sure that Britain here is well guarded here. We need cannon. And we have some 24 pounders here as well. I've got everything here, I believe, up to full strength. Now what's that going to give us? Field Marshal, which we don't really need yet. I'm not sure why Sweden has moved out that substantial force there. It seems a little bit erratic to me, but still. Now,
Ship's orders received. Ready and waiting. Sir, your orders? Underway. Ship's orders, Captain. Ready and awaiting more, sir. Your orders?
I think we're going to move against.
Your Majesty. On our way, sir. Captain. Orders received and understood. Halt! Sir! Set sail. Sir. Jump to it and look lively. Cover up. Army. Orders, Captain. Ready and waiting. Yes, my lord. Hold waiting away. For orders. Ship's orders. Officer on deck.
Now they're quite clearly going to trying to move against us here. We do have Stockholm well defended. We will leave these forces here as a reserve.
Ready for orders.
Well, that army is more than enough. We're replenishing it here, so that'll be fine.
At the ready. Yes, my lord.
You gentlemen are replenishing here.
Yes, sir.
We're actually going to move again. I wonder if we can.
Sir! Attack! Your orders, your majesty. Sir, your orders? Sorry, sir. Sir! Ship shape and
Still
Bristol fashion,
fashions.
Captain.
We've moved against Finland
Any orders?
as our last
Still ship shape.
action of this particular episode, my friends, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As you can see, we have got a huge amount of Polish forces moving against us here, almost overwhelming in some regards, because this is quite extra. They're able to put significantly more troops in the field than we are. We have a very compact force here. We do have, I think we will continue our army growth here. We're going to try and field as, gentlemen, we're going to try and field as many forces as we possibly can here to really give ourselves a number of armies here. We're going to need at least 2 army groups to deal with this. We're probably going to need an army group here to be able to deal with this here, and then probably another one here. So we'll have to move this army that's being put together here will actually be moved up to the border here of Greece and Bosnia. So we've got a stable, strong front here that'll allow us to push in against Belgrade. Because we've got this mountain range here that's sort of separating any help from this route here. So we might punch out and move against Belgrade. We don't know what's in Belgrade at all, though. Ideally, we probably do need to get ourselves some kind of brothel, maybe, to be able to get those policies we need there. Now, they're not happy with us here at all on resistance of our occupation. That's fine. We've got almost 10,000 coming in from here, so we can't really give Stockholm away yet. But if we can take Finland, we will give Finland to the Swedes, I beg your pardon. And then we should move on and take St. Petersburg. We'll clear the routes as we go and start to hit, really take the fight to the Russians. But my goodness me, look at the strength here against us. It's quite scary. You do have a massive amount of firepower guarding Istanbul, probably more than enough that would probably actually destroy the. Actually, let's get that additional regiment in here. Let's continue. What's our income like here? 44,000. We've got to be very careful we don't overstretch ourselves too much. Food shortages here are quite high. Is there anything here that's not being of any use to us we can make into a fishing port? Oh, Irish Volunteer Infantry. Now that would be very nice here. And Connaught Rifles. I think we'll get some of these gentlemen as well. And I think we'll get some additional heavy rates here, because I've got a feeling we're going to need them sooner rather than later. Let's get that. We'll keep that in the bank here. We're going to try and build up our fleet again here to really be prepared. Why the French would leave this army here in Brest here when they're fighting a savage war against the Poles, I have no idea. They still hold Dresden here. Are they still at war with them? That's the crucial thing. They're not at war with Poland. That's why the war has ended here. That's why the war has stabilised. So that's why the Poles are able to shift all of their forces down here to attack us, because they're not fighting the French anymore. That's why. It's going to be a real fight down here for us. Might even overwhelm us down here, because look how many forces the Poles are able to put in here. It is quite scary, the number of forces they're able to put in here. We need to try and clear some of these areas here. We've got an army group here. We might strike out against Belgrade, or we might even strike out against Bosnia once we've taken Belgrade here, and try and clear this particular flank. But we need at least another 2 armies in here to secure this particular frontier, because my goodness me, it's going to be a tough fight.
Your orders, Your Majesty.
I think we might move this army to Thrace. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, my friends, as always, please keep your comments coming down below. Please let me know your proposals, your plans, whatever you think I should be doing here, my friends. Please let me know. It helps more than you can possibly imagine. It really does. The reason we've been able to survive this campaign, because literally, I kid you not, my friends, for a very long time it looked like we weren't almost going to keep this this campaign going because we were on the brink of collapse. But we've managed to hold our own here, and in fact we've managed to grow quite substantially, and our fight here in the north has actually sort of rolled quite nicely for us in a lot of ways here. We've actually been able to take the fight to the Russians probably in a much greater strength than I actually thought. And that, if we get St. Petersburg, and we could maybe even take Riga and clear these front lines here, who knows where that might even allow us to strike into the sort of northern flank of the Poles, which would really be an absolute wonder to see. It really would. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here, and as always, please keep your comments coming down below. Keep your proposals, your plans, your strategies, everything, my friends. It's been absolutely wonderful. It really has. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.